Hi, my beautiful souls. Mm, So, I have been pondering about presence the last few weeks. It has just been very present, the word in my life, and what it really means. And it's such an interesting thing because we're often told to become, not told, but like, it's like be present, be in your body, and that sort of thing. And I'm a firm believer in that. Um, but it isn't the most natural thing for me. I have a Capricorn rising and my moon and sun in Aquarius. And so there's very much a lot of mental activity, and a lot of like, I love dreaming of the future. I love thinking what could be and playing in that space of calling in and working towards the future dream. I'm always like, what can current Jennifer do that future Jennifer will be super proud of? So I often have that pull towards that. And it's amazing because it works, but it also is a recognition that it often takes me out of the present moment. It often takes me because I'm so in that space of what we're creating and this is what we're doing. Um, and so that came into my awareness of, how do I create more presence? How can I be in that space? And it's probably going to be my lifetime experiment and journey of how do I be that, thinking and being future orientated, but also being very conscious and here in the moment. And another thing that really, um, what I often find is when these things pop in, then it's that awareness, So, and I noticed that in the last few weeks, it's been really, you know, um, there's been a lot going on. I don't like to use the word busy because I just feel like we invite that in. Um, but there's been a lot that's needed to happen, a lot that's needed to be achieved and stuff like that. And, we're often, I think a bulk of us are working on these devices. We're in the device and it's this zone in, and I'll look and I'll suddenly be like, oh my gosh, a whole hour's gone, sometimes an hour and a half, and I haven't moved or done anything. And I was like, it's just not healthy. It's not good. And it just means that I haven't actually been present to my surroundings at all. And so much happens in presence, so much happens in the pause. We so often are so focused on the doing and that sort of thing and achieving, and that is very much, our beautiful masculine energy. But the feminine energy is so potent, and that is the pause, that is the integration, that is the rest. Um, and I know for a very long time, I was like, well, rest means sleeping, or I have to like take this long time to rest. And, where am I going to find this time? Because I have so much I need to do, so much. Um, and that was a thought process for a while. But I have been playing with the fact and becoming more and more as I've been, delving into my yoga practice and everything. And in that, it's fully present. You're in that moment when you're doing the yoga and the meditation. You're in the body. And through some other embodied practices, um, bringing that awareness in. And it's not about the length of time from what I have sort of felt in self. It is the consistency of creating that moment in time. It is coming back into self in that moment and having that pause. And obviously, there'll be certain things where you need a longer pause for integration. Um, but I was like, what I've been playing with, and sort of, an invitation, if you wish to play with it, is every hour I'm setting an alarm and making sure that I move. And I'm setting that I have 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And in that, I get up from my space, I go and drink water because it's so important. And in that drinking of water, taking that moment to not to be doing anything else, really just drinking the water and noticing how the water feels, what is the texture when it goes in my mouth, the temperature, creating just that moment of being so present, of having that glass of water. And then from that moment, depending, you know, what my body needs, is really just asking it, what does it need? Does it need to move? Does it need to does it just need stillness? and sort of just creating space for the body to speak, space for the body to just feel like it's being contained. And also it's just that pause. Um, and because, can't just do one thing, because that's just, I also like, because it doesn't take much. I'm just like, what am I so deeply grateful for that's happened in the last hour or 30 minutes? Like, really bringing back what has happened, that I'm like, oh, in this present moment, gosh, I feel really grateful that I did that task, or I'm really grateful for now this moment of noticing the sun shining through my window, the dappling of the sunlight on the leaves of my beautiful plants, or, I'm very fortunate I get to look at the ocean, and taking a moment to just look at her and be like, oh, sure, it's just, and I can feel in that present moment of just taking that point of coming home to self, of acknowledging where I'm at. And it's not always that it's like the thing. Sometimes I'm like, actually, I'm just deeply frustrated, or I'm actually just so, oh, why am I having to do this? I don't understand. Sometimes it's really sticky. And then I'm like, but that's okay, because in this moment we can be sticky. And in the next moment we can move through that. But it's not rushing to bypass anything either. Through this presence, it allows it to be seen and felt, and therefore also released, when it's ready to be released and let go. But it's really the invitation and the presence in that is that you can come back into the moment. And I have found, to be honest, and I will continue this experiment, is that in that I'm finding that I feel way more expansive. I feel way more able to hold more, and less of a need to do more. I know that more is being done. I know that I am getting through stuff, but there isn't this like frenetic thing of like, oh my God, the to-do list and I haven't done it. And that whole thing. There's almost the allowing of the feminine to breathe and expand and create space and be like, everything is flowing, everything is in divine timing. And through that, the masculine creating coming through, the masculine of the doing, of like, cool, on this next moment I have capacity for this, or on this next moment I actually don't have capacity for that, but that's okay, maybe I can do it a bit later. And so that's just what I felt through this allowing of coming back into self and presence. And I just thought I'd share the soul musings on that. I would love to know if you have any presence. Like, what do you do to bring yourself back? Of course, you have presence. I mean, we all have beautiful, magnificent presence. What do you do to bring yourself back to the present moment? Are there practices you have that are your favorite? I would love to know, and like learn from you. So sending you so much love, my beautiful souls, and may you have an expansive, present, beautiful day or evening. I love you so much.